Bhavish Agrawal just dropped some pretty big news, so let's get into it. It's Runtime, your daily Indian tech white pill, and he shared this update from X saying that Ola Electric's LFP cell is ready. LFP, by the way, is short for Lithium Iron Phosphate, and this cell is in a 46-100 cylindrical format. I'll explain what those numbers mean. 46 is the diameter in millimeters, and 100 is the height in millimeters. And Bhavish actually showed this cell off next to Ola Electric's older 4680 NMC. That's Nickel Manganese Cobalt, and so it's the same diameter but a different height. Now, the 4680 cell is already powering thousands of Ola Electric vehicles across India, so why are they now introducing this new cell? Well, LFP battery tech is known to offer a couple of specific benefits over nickel-based batteries like NCA, that's nickel, cobalt, aluminum, and NMC. So firstly, LFP batteries are significantly cheaper to produce on a per kilowatt hour basis because iron and phosphate, which make up the bulk of the material in the battery, are fairly abundant and affordable compared to metals like nickel and cobalt. LFP cells are also generally safer, they're more thermally stable, meaning that there's less of a risk of thermal runaway compared to NMC cells that sometimes get too hot, which of course in the Indian context is a real risk. LFP cells have a longer lifespan too. They can handle upwards of 4,000 cycles with minimal degradation, whereas with NMCs you do start to get a bit of degradation beyond 1,000 or 2,000 cycles, which is why people start to complain that their scooters have less range after a couple of years with NMC cells. So again, in the Indian context, this means that warranty costs are probably going to be lower because the vehicle's battery degrades less, and this also means potentially higher resale value too. Now, LFP cells do come with a couple of trade-offs for customers as compared to NMC cells. So firstly, they're not that great in cold conditions, so charging is going to be a lot slower below freezing temperatures, which generally isn't a big issue in most parts of India. But also, LFP cells are heavier. Their chemistry stores less energy per kilo, so to get the same energy as NMC, you do need a lot more material, which increases weight. And we've actually seen this play out with Ather. When the Rista launched in 2024, it had a 2.9 kilowatt hour NMC battery with a ground clearance of 165 millimeters. But then in late 2025, they introduced a 2.7 kilowatt hour LFP battery variant that reduced clearance to 150 millimeters because they needed more space for the battery pack. But of course, Ather is not making these cells themselves. They're being produced by CBAC Energy Technology. This is a massive Chinese lithium ion and sodium ion battery specialist. And I think that's one of the more interesting parts about this larger industry story, this battle between these two companies, the way that both of them are indigenizing electric two-wheelers in very different ways. So Ola Electric started with the acquisition of a Dutch company, Ather, whereas Ather Energy built their platform entirely from scratch, beginning at IIT Madras and then eventually relocating to Bengaluru. However, now Ather has not indigenized their battery tech, whereas Ola Electric has. And Ola Electric is hoping to benefit from the government of India's PLI scheme for advanced chemistry cells, or ACC, battery storage, which was specifically put in place to stimulate this kind of activity, encouraging Indian companies to reduce the country's reliance upon Chinese imports. But in spite of all of the great progress that Ola Electric has made so far in indigenizing these cells, they're still not currently planning to expand beyond their current 6 gigawatt hour capacity in the immediate term. They just scaled from 2.5 gigawatt hours to 6 gigawatt hours at their gigafactory, and here is some of the equipment from that expansion. And so in the long term, they do want their gigafactory to reach 100 gigawatt hours way down the line, but in order to be eligible for the PLI scheme today, they were supposed to have 20 gigawatt hours of capacity, so they're still a little bit behind schedule, but definitely a leader when it comes to building advanced chemistry cell batteries in India. And Bhavish has also encouraged Indian startups to build out the rest of the supply chain here, because right now, while Ola Electric is making these cells in India, there's a huge opportunity to be a local vendor for parts like the cathode, the anode, electrolytes, separator, binders, lithium refining, manufacturing equipment, control systems, specialty steel, lasers, and cameras. Now, I will wrap this video up on a different note. I'm going to change gears here to say that people are still struggling with their Ola Electric vehicles. The reply section to every post that Bhavish makes on X is full of people who are frustrated by the lack of parts, the lack of service, and the lack of technicians from this company. And when the replies are not full of dissatisfied customers, they're full of bots who are saying very generic positive things about the company. So I'm not encouraging you to go out and buy an Ola Electric vehicle with this video, but I do want to acknowledge and appreciate the work that is being put in by this company to indigenize battery tech in India. And that is all of the Indian tech news that I have for you all today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.